back to the morning wrap. Memorial Day weekend, it is here and it's the unofficial start of summer. So that means it's time for family vacations, family road trips, and it wouldn't be complete without your furry friends. So our friend is here once again, Dr. Ruth MacPete. She's going to help us figure out ways to make traveling with our pets a positive experience. And you brought your little friend here. This is your pup, Jet, who's like friends with us now too.
Yes.
This is the first time I'm seeing him move.
Yes.
He usually just stays in place.
Comfy.
Okay, perfect.
So the first thing I recommend when people think about traveling with their pets is it's really important, and this sounds obvious, but you want to make sure you do your homework and make sure that where you're going is indeed pet friendly. That means checking the destination and also the lodging, because not all hotels, not our VRBOs and campsites allow dogs. So that's the first thing, is check that. Second thing is you want to get them travel ready. And so depending on how you're traveling, if you're going to be road tripping, you want to make sure that your pet is comfortable and safe in the car. If you have a little dog like Jet, I recommend using these booster seats. Jet loves his K&H bucket booster seat. What's great about these is you can see he's actually attached to it, and then this attaches to the seat belt. So it helps keep him safe and secure, and then he's not jumping around, and then he likes it because he can look out the window. If you have a big dog, K&H also makes safety barriers, and these little safety barriers actually protect the seat, so it helps keep the dog in the back seat so they're not jumping in the front and distracting the driver.
You know, I will say just quickly on this too, is we've seen so many times here in Southern California, I mean anywhere, where the animals are not strapped in properly and then they jump out of the car and then end up on the freeway and tragedy can happen. So this is so key.
So important that they're strapped in and they're safe and that they're not distracting the driver. We don't want to cause an accident either. The other thing is, if you're taking a road trip, you want to get them used to riding in the car, because not all dogs like to ride in the car. So I recommend taking you know, frequent small trips around the block with your dog. You really showering them with praise and then giving them lots of treats. My dogs love these wellness old Mother Hubbard wholesome indulgence treats, and so I give them to them anytime they go in the car. And so now I just go to the car and they know they're going to get a treat, and it's a positive experience.
Love that.
If you have a cat, make sure they're in a carrier, not loose. Yes, not loose around. They can also have treats as well. If you travel by plane, and you know this firsthand, you need to first check with the airline and make sure that they allow pets, find out their requirements. Typically, they're going to want an animal to be in an airline approved carrier, and they're going to require a health certificate. So you get that from your veterinarian to prove they're healthy enough to travel, up to date on immunizations, and parasite free. And then the last thing you have to do is just pack for your pet. So I always recommend bringing enough food for the whole trip so you don't run out and cause gastrointestinal upset by switching their food. Pack bowls for food and water. I like the collapsible ones because they're easy to pack. Bring any medications they may be on. I like bringing proof of their vaccines or medical history so that you have that if for some reason you have to board them. You have that. And then if you have the room, you can bring toys and beds and blankets. Just depends on how you're traveling.
This is so great. You know, I have two tips too. So the hotel tip, we actually stayed at a hotel that said it was dog friendly. However, it was service dogs. So we got stuck in this little bit of a pickle because we were obviously out of town. Luckily, they were gracious enough because we had to call the corporate line and figure the whole thing out. So just do your part, or ask for multiple people to talk to.
Yes,
that's what
I definitely recommend, because you're right. Some hotels also allow one pet, or there's weight restrictions. So you want to make sure it's pet friendly. Find out if there's a charge, find out if it's just service dogs, and again, if there's weight restrictions or anything else.
And then as far as the air travel is concerned, because you know, I was messaging her like crazy, what can I get? So I always hear about the Benadryl thing. Didn't really work too well for mine, but what's like the ratio? Like how much Benadryl would you give your dog?
Well, I recommend, first of all, a lot of dogs, Jet travels all the time. And so, and he's been on airplanes and he's a great traveler. And not all dogs need medication. So the first thing I recommend is talk to your veterinarian. It's dose dependent, so you need to get the dose from your veterinarian for your particular dog, and then talk to them, because there's other medications that are stronger, as you know, that work better, prescription meds. But a lot of dogs don't need it. They're showing some pictures of Jet.
Yeah, that's cute.
And I took him to Paris, so there's a picture of him in Paris.
Oh my gosh. So, wait, we only have 10 seconds left. We're going to end on Paris.
Yes, so he is kind of a world traveler.
But thank you,
Jet the Jet Setter.
Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you right back here next week.